What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Why We Move podcast. I'm your host, Ricardo Betem. I'm drooling because I'm chewing gum, but we're so excited for this new episode here with the fantastic Alix and Lauren. Don't worry, I got it right. Alix and Lauren. These two are probably some of your favorite dancers out here in Philly. As you come to recognize them, they're they're a couple of my favorite dancers. Excited to have you guys on board. Thank you guys so much for
here. Thank you.
And just to let you guys know, this is the second time we're recording because I messed up.
Because he loves us so much.
Round two, baby.
Round two.
Let's
That's
go.
it. There you go. So twice the love here in this episode. Okay?
Yes.
So this is again the Why We Move podcast, and I like to start off with the main question. So Alix and Lauren, why do y'all move?
I moved to feel free and express myself and let loose, Have a good time.
It's a nice way to get to know people and just to hang out, and it's just a disconnect from the world, which is really, really nice.
Word. Yeah, we can be so busy in our lives. It's hard to kind of recenter ourselves. And I think I agree with you. Like the same way I like to relax, almost like let go, or even just kind of what I like to say, connect with myself and of course with other people, because obviously it's a social thing.
Yeah.
But it's to move my body, like in all forms, in all ways. If I'm like dancing, if I'm exercising, if I'm running, if I'm meditating, whatever it is, as long as I'm like moving in some sort of way, which can also look like stillness, right? But it's still such a beautiful way to express yourself. So thank you guys for sharing that. So my favorite question, since this is a podcast dedicated to the social dancing journey and the social dancer's journey, can you walk me through your journey into the world of social dancing? Bachata, salsa, Zouk, Kizomba, whatever it is.
Yeah. I'm going to let Lauren start this one because she's the beginning of the story.
Okay, we're part one and then part two.
Yeah.
All right. It all started. No, I'm kidding.
Once upon a time.
So it started 2 years ago with my dad. So
Jose.
Shout out.
Yeah, so my dad, he was the one who started taking salsa classes back in Florida at Orlando Heat. Salsa Heat. Salsa Heat. Oh, God. Not long. No. Salsa Heat. Yeah. So he's like, Lauren, let's go. It's so much fun. Like, you'll have a great time. I'm like, no, I'm not going. And then eventually, after some time, he finally convinced me. And I was like, all right, I'm coming, but I'm only sitting on the couch. That's it. Yeah, no. So in the middle of the class, he asked the instructor, oh, hey, can my daughter join in and dance with me? Everyone turned around and looked at me sitting on the couch with their necks. And I was like, oh, gosh. So then, I got up, joined my dad, started dancing, picked up the steps really fast. And then, and then it just all started there and I fell in love and that's where it all began.
Awesome. So it sounds like your dad was a big salsero?
Yeah.
So
he started.
So walk me through a little bit of how it was introduced to you. Like, did he play music at home as a kid, or just like he went out and you just like didn't know where your dad went after a certain point in the night?
No, actually, he just wanted to do something new and started taking classes, and that was it. Like, growing up, I listened to salsa music all the time with my grandparents, with my family, but never really danced at all. And then so that's just like my dad was just like, all right, it's time for me to learn. And then that's how it began.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. And now walk me through, this was part one. So part two, Alix, where do you come in?
So
the sequel.
Yeah. So Lauren was going out, leaving we weren't roommates then, but like we would all go out and then we would get home and be like, ready to go to bed at like 11:30. And Lauren's like, okay, I'm going out dancing. And we're like, what are you talking about going out dancing? Like what? Because not big club people. I'm like, what is this? And
also because it's probably like in the middle of the week too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what are you doing? But I'm like, whatever, you do you. It's fun. And then she's like, no, Alix, like you should come to a class. And I'm like, I'm down to take a class. I didn't know what I was getting myself into because like I took a class and then they're like, okay, and you stay for this social to practice. So I was like, okay, cool, that sounds great. I stayed until 2:30 in the morning and where did all the time go? That was so fun. Let's do this again. Rinse and repeat. And I'm here a year and a couple months later.
Addicted.
Hey.
Salseras,
Yeah.
And that's actually the name of our group chat is, I think we call it Bachata Addicts right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Addicts is definitely, addiction is definitely a word to,
It
you know,
is.
say.
Yes.
That's
All the
beautiful.
dopies.
Well, that's a beautiful story. Well, I'm glad you guys have been dancing since then because I wouldn't have met you guys.
Right.
This is literally how we met, dancing. It's
Literally.
crazy. A lot of, at least the guests in season 1 were my friends from Portland.
Mm.
And I'd probably say, yeah, all of them I've met out dancing. A lot of my friends, honestly, probably like 90% of my friends are from dancing.
Same.
Yeah.
Here at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is cool. You know, like I think that's
Mhm.
a beautiful part about dancing that we can, you know, for the people who are listening or watching who are maybe interested in getting into dancing,
Mm.
like this is such a great place to find friends, to find like
is.
genuine connections.
for
Can you
sure.
guys talk about what are probably the most fruitful friendships or fruitful connections that you guys made on and off the dance floor? Or from dancing, I should say.
From dancing. Well, you.
Aw.
And there was also, it was funny. I was in Spain and I was just going around just chit-chatting with people because I was spending like a good chunk of time there. And my first night at one of the weekly socials, I went up to one of these girls and I'm just like, hey, how's it going? And I'm just like, hi, do you want to be friends? But then I realized that her family's from Orlando and she just lives over in Spain. And she's like, oh, we know the same people. And it's just all
That's great.
interconnected. And we still talk to this day, which I think is really fun. But and it's like you can get people have friends like in the West Coast.
Mhm.
Just be like, hey, I'm heading up to wherever. Where's all the local scenes? And it's like when you go to different cities, you're able to connect with people on a different level, kind of, because it's just like, hey, we always have something to do. Like, let's go dance.
Yeah. And all you need is music in your body, right?
That's
Yes.
it. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's cool. What
And
about
water. Hydrate.
you? Hydrate. What about you, Lauren?
It's so, oh my gosh. So I recently posted a video of me dancing and somebody that I started dancing with, he commented and he's like, wow, you've gotten so good. Like,
Nice.
he's like, it's crazy how much you've progressed in the dance scene. And yeah, you just make a whole bunch of connections during the dance scene.
And you guys kind of touched on it, and I forgot to mention in the beginning, but you both are originally from Orlando. At least that's where you started dancing, correct?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Can you speak on maybe even give some shout outs to the original places you used to dance at, the people you used to dance with, anyone in particular, any places in particular you want to shout out?
So Salsa Heat is where it all began. Great studio, loved it. That's where I made most of my connections.
Yeah.
And then
Branched out from there.
Yeah, and then Dance It Studios with Jaid Style. He's a really great instructor.
And he just came to DC, Maryland area
Nice.
to teach. So that was really nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
I know I went there recently in the last like month and a half, 2 months, but Robinson's Cafe was a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Every Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like we would
Yeah.
go to Jaid's class and then head straight to the Robinson after.
Nice.
And
So fun.
regret it on Wednesday, but
Oh yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah, shout out Robinson's Cafe. Honestly, you guys are doing really cool stuff.
Yeah.
You know, with the setup and the
Yeah.
floor. It's really cool. All right. So, as an avid social dancer, what aspects of the experience gives you the most joy and the most fulfillment?
Honestly, the connections.
I was just gonna say.
The connections and the people, because it's fun to dance by yourself. It's fun to practice the technique and everything like that. But actually dancing with people and connecting with people is something completely different. And it's just like, hey, how was your week at work? Like, what brought you joy today? And just being able to have a social interaction that's not just like, hey, how's your day? Like, good morning. Like, just like basic stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's more enriching.
Cool.
I would have to say the same thing. That's the same thing for me. Connection. It's just, I find it so relaxing and soothing when you can actually connect one-on-one with that person and you just have such a smooth dance. It's beautiful. So that's
Awesome.
my favorite part.
Yeah, it's like the feeling, the connection, the expression.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's good to hear. Now, reflecting on your journey to dance up to this point, what do you perceive is the contrast between social dancing and other forms of dancing? Say hip hop could be like single form of dancing, like even I don't even know other ones like crumping or jazz or your ballroom, you know, or contemporary, like stuff like that. Ballroom is more of a social dance, but you know, contemporary. Can you guys speak on that?
I feel like it's more solo. Like you're focused more heavily on the technique and more heavily on like, okay, if I'm doing a solo piece, I need to make sure that everything looks great. But if I mess up, like it's okay because nobody else knows my routine but me.
Yeah.
But with social dancing, you have to be able to read and understand the other person. There's like reciprocity.
Reciprocity? Yeah, you're
Is
right.
it
reciprocity?
But it's like it's a give and take, and you have to be okay with not be okay with, but be able to be led or to lead, depending on whoever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like when I first began, it was very difficult for me to just like let go and be able to be led. So yeah, it's definitely different. I feel, well, I haven't experienced any other different dancing other than social dancing. But yeah, I feel like you have to be with that partner and be able to let go and be able to follow or lead.
Yeah, receive signals, give signals.
Yeah.
Can you
and to listen?
To listen.
To not listen.
My mom knows I don't do that. Sorry, Mom.
Shout out to Mom.
Yeah, shout out to all the moms out there. Honestly, yo, for real. But maybe to peek a little bit more further into that, Lauren, can you talk about what that is? Because, and to preface it, maybe is I think about this all the time because I've been leading for the last close to 9 years, but following really off and on for the last 3 to 4. I'm not good at all, but I'm learning.
Yes, you are. You are.
Okay, it's very nice. Very nice. Thank you. But I know I've got some improvement to do, and I'm working on it. And a part of this is listening because I don't listen sometimes, and I just do it my way. But it's a very interesting aspect, and I know we kind of touched on this actually on a car ride to Viva when it happened in the DC area. But can you maybe first starting with you, Lauren, tell me a little bit about what that kind of energy is, at least for you and your experience following, and what has been like the struggles, because you kind of said that in the beginning, and what has led you to kind of improve on that over time?
Yeah, really just letting go. As a follower, you have to just trust that your partner will lead you well and not run you into other people or whatever. You just gotta sorry. Yeah, like you just have to let go. And I feel like I really struggled with that in the beginning. I'm like, no, this is what I'm doing. I know the steps. No.
You don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, just just letting go.
Interesting. Alix, do you have anything you want to
add? Yeah. And I feel like that it sits on like your femininity kind of.
Oh, yes.
Just
This is what I was hoping we would talk about. Yes, please. Dive in, go in.
Because it's just all the time we always have to make just decisions. All of us, we have to constantly think, okay, what's our next move? Like, what are we doing next? Like, but when you're in the follow position, you're able to sit more in that feminine, okay, I'm going to go with the waves, kind of just flow with it and just see what happens and sprinkle your own little sparkles of whatever you want to add to it. Yeah. But I think that's the beautiful thing about following. And it actually taught me a lot in my life that I'm just like, no, it's okay to let go. It's okay to just sit and like just allow to like navigate differently and navigate life differently. That's not saying exactly what I want to say, but we're gonna go with that for right now.
Okay, cool.
That's good.
Cool. I really like what you said there because a lot of people think when they see dancing, they see a lead and they see a follow. It's like the lead only exists as a lead, the follow only exists as a follow. But there's like parts of it that exist in both roles.
Totally.
It's like kind of what you said, adding your little, spice, your, I think what we like to call is some styling, right? And also some like not backleading, but framing. because that's obviously a thing that we need to do when we're dancing with whoever, a follower or lead. But there's aspects in both letting go and taking control in both roles. And I think that masculine, feminine energy exists in both. It might just look different in the sense of the amounts and how they're expressed and in what capacity or what caliber they're expressed.
Yeah.
But I do think it exists as both. And I think for folks who are out there who are maybe judging, you know, people who are following as a lead, or if they're, you know, a male identifying person or a female identifying person leading, like it doesn't really exist as those specific boxes of people. You feel me?
It's like you could be a feminine lead or you could be a masculine lead, and you can bring that energy however you want, because I've dabbled into leading.
Yeah, you did great. Yeah.
Thank you.
But you could still bring that femininity forward, even though that you're taking control. It's that give and take.
Yeah, it's a dance.
It's a dance,
right? It's communicating. And I know, you know, to bring up what you guys both do for work, I think you guys both lead a very interesting outside occupation of life. Alix, you're a interpreter, and then Lauren, you're a personal trainer. Can you talk about like what those roles kind of bring in as far as like the principles that you've learned in dance and maybe you've applied to your occupation, or vice versa? You know, can kind of shed light on what you do there that relates to social dancing in a way. Are there any
I'm going to start
connections of
brain
neurons?
Well, okay, so I just started personal training not recently, but kind of ish. Anyways, I think that we all start somewhere, and I think that relates to dance because like we all started somewhere and we're always learning. And I'm not saying I'm like amazing personal trainer that I know everything, but like I've been growing over time. Like it's a progression. You grow over time, you learn new things over time. So I've brought that from dance into my profession.
Awesome. Like patience, probably.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's with anything, right? It always takes time. People want to rush forward, but it's a process.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I want to be good. Like, I want to be the best bachatera in a week. Like, you can't do that. You can't do it.
Sorry, honey.
You can't. Like, you got your basic, but your basic can still be elevated.
Always.
You know?
Yeah.
So, but no, I agree with that. It's you always have to start somewhere. And for me personally in my job, it's that balance because I like have to set my own appointments as an interpreter, and I'm always like looking for assignments because it's contracted work. So it's like you have to have that kind of the control, and then but also actually interpreting, I have to sit in that feminine role and not really, it's not me that's doing the talking. It's not me, Alexandra Davis. It's whomever I'm interpreting for. And I have to keep that in mind and keep my emotions, my everything on the back burner, because that doesn't matter. What matters is whatever my people are saying. So it's like, it's nice to bring that into dance, or to have learned that from my career and also in dance. It's just a mirror.
Yeah, and it's another form of communication. Right? Just as dances, it's two people talking, two people communicating.
Body language.
It's interesting that we learn so many things about everything that we do that kind of cross-references everything else that we do, like what you guys just spoke on. Is there anything now on the opposite side that you've learned from your occupation that you bring into dance?
I mean, honestly, I feel like that my past dancer was kind of the opposite, because I started my profession before I started dance.
Oh shit, I wasn't listening. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Moms.
I'm kidding.
It's okay.
No, you did. But I want to maybe point that to.
Yeah. Oh. Focus back. Flip it back and reverse it.
Discipline.
Period.
End of story.
Moving on.
No, for real though. Facts. Facts.
Yeah, I feel like discipline with my clients, discipline with making sure they're like doing their stuff that they need to get done. Like, I'm here to push you. That discipline has brought back to dance because like I want to become better, like always improving. So like me going out and practicing, doing my spins, always like trying to improve.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very important, right? Because I think if we don't stay disciplined in that, we get lazy, we get complacent, and then that's when injuries happen. That's when people have a bad time. That's when you're not showing up as your best self. I think that's very important. I love that about exercise for me, and to relate to this. You know, I'm not a personal trainer by any means, but I've put in programs and routines in my own realm of exercise that I like to think about, like, not that my sole purpose is to do it for dance, but it definitely helps.
Yeah,
For
It's
sure.
like that cross reference thing, you know, things that you apply in life that comes to dance and from dance applies to life, you know. I see here that you guys want to talk more about bringing diverse socials. Like,
Yes.
can you talk about that?
Please. It's because I feel like it's so nice branching out into different styles of dance. And it's like you can kind of get pigeonholed. It's like, oh, I started with bachata, so I'm just going to stay with bachata because bachata is what I know. And like not move on from that. But it's like, oh, maybe we can branch out, hit some salsa. Maybe, ooh, we could try some Zouk or like Kizomba or something. And then just have a social where it's just all of them.
Oh, yeah.
And just do like 3 songs salsa, 3 songs bachata, 3 songs Zouk, and just continue so that everyone can come in and you can meet a bunch of different people and branch out and learn different techniques that apply. I think it would just be so much fun.
It would be.
I think it would be such a good time. And then you get to meet so many people because there's so many people that we haven't met yet in the dance scene. Even though that it's small, but it's big, but it's small. You know?
Same, but different.
Yeah.
But same. No, that's very true. I think, you know, running this podcast, I've been trying to find some Kizomberos and Kizomberas and Zuqueros, but it's so hard to find here in Philly. You know, over in Portland, there's a bigger Zouk scene that's happening, a little bit more in Kizomba as well. In other cities, I've found that as well. But Philly, like, I want to, maybe I'm just not doing the right work here or like finding the right people. But, you know, for those who are listening, if you're into Kizomba or Zouk or any other kind of social dance, want to bring you on the podcast. So please come through. Hit me in the DMs, hit me in my email. Like, I want to interview y'all. But I think it's true because much like what we just talked about, stuff, and I think principles you learn in Zouk and Kizomba can easily be, not easily, but I think more or less be transferred to bachata and salsa.
Yeah. And you can make your own style from it.
Absolutely. And I want to touch on this topic. It's not in the script here, so this is a on the fly question.
Okay.
But it just reminded me of something because I saw a video the other day of this gentleman. I forget where he's based out at, but he's an instructor, and he was doing this demo. And in this video, he just overlaid some captions. It was like an Instagram reel, and I'll probably link it to this episode. But I want to shout out him because he put something out about fusion, that the style of fusion dance with I think he was talking about Zouk and bachata. Don't quote me, y'all. I already know I'm gonna get hate for this, but I don't care. But he was talking about like the beauty of fusion. Yeah, it's not completely bachata. Yeah, it's not completely Zouk, but it's fusion. It's still a dance. So I'm curious to.
Sorry, song popped up in my head.
I saw the intrusive thought just come through.
Literally.
That's so funny. But yeah. So what are you guys' thoughts on, you know, fusion dancing making a hit right now? Because it's, I think, what's the mix of all the things that we're seeing and that we're experiencing in the social dance world. What are your guys' thoughts?
I think that's a lot of fun. I think there should be more of that, honestly, because you're learning, you're not just stuck to one thing. It's like you're learning multiple things. And at the end of the day, like, we know what bachata is, we know what salsa, Zouk, like all of that. We're just having fun. Like, just it's not something that should be hated on, you know. It's a good time to like, express yourself, and like you said, art form.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I feel like that there's already a lot of overlap with sensual bachata and Zouk. Yeah. And I feel like that they kind of, like, a lot of sensual bachata took a lot from Zouk, and it's kind of all just like weaving together. So there's already a fusion there. Just lean into it. Just call a thing a thing.
Yeah, it's like it's interesting because this might be a hot take, but like, I think where we can talk about, you know, the opposite side of that for folks who obviously might not agree to this, I think there is some truth on their point too. And I think I'll explain it this way. You know, I think there's honor and pride in like where you come from, your roots, your culture, right? So I think you should stay true to that.
Yeah.
But and so there's truth in the sense of like putting respect in the history of where that dance came from, you know, why it came about, how it came about. But and you know, there's like, I think there should be instruction, or there should be some education around that at socials, in classes, at workshops, at events, to be able to kind of give that, even as the beginning or throughout the night, you know, like DJs coming on and be like, hey, yo, by the way, this is like
traditional bachata.
Yeah,
essential.
Exactly.
There in Orlando, there's actually a dance school, Bachata Sensual. And they actually did that. They do a whole background of where bachata originated, all of that stuff. So they give you a whole history lesson, and I appreciated that.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
there definitely should be more of that. And I think like to kind of mend the two ideas, the two perspectives here together, I think the way I think about it is honor where you came from, be able to give love and respect to it, but also stay open-minded.
Yeah, of course.
I think that's
it's just like a language. A language evolves over time. It's like
growing.
Yeah, it's like we don't speak in like old English anymore. It's like our language.
Here.
It's like hello.
I don't know why I did that. I was trying to do the monocle.
Yeah, no, I got it. But it's like everything evolves.
Yeah,
and you just gotta ride with it, but still honor where you came from, where it started. But like you said, just be open-minded.
Whoa, that's gonna be the intro to the episode. I'm gonna play some what's that old show called? The Twilight Zone. Beautiful. Thank you guys for sharing that. Let's move on here. What pearls of wisdom would you guys offer to beginners or people who are interested in dancing or embarking on their social dance journey? And what specific things, tips, and tricks could you give those folks?
Don't stop believing.
Don't stop believing. Could you hit that buzzer real quick?
Yeah. It's like, no, like go to the classes and don't be afraid to dance with people that are way more experienced than you.
Yeah.
It's because that's how you're going to learn. Like, throw yourself into the fire. It's like, whatever. It's a dance. You're not hurting anyone. Well,
should not be hurting.
You should not be hurting anyone. But most of the time, you're good.
Yeah, just be gentle, right?
Yeah, just be nice. Just be nice. Say hey, high five, booty bump, and then move on. You know.
I would say, just don't be so hard on yourself. Like you're going to get where you want to go. Just you gotta relax and just have fun.
Yeah. Love and patience. Love and patience.
Amazing. And let's touch on that, the beginning part of that, what you guys talked about. I like what you said when you quoted, or not you quoted, when you talked about my brain.
The listening thing again.
I was hoping there was some filler words I could say to spark my brain, but it just died. My brain cells are dead. The aspect of respect on the dance floor.
Oh, yeah.
Dance etiquette.
Oh, yeah.
It's huge.
So I know you had something to say on the last one, Lauren, but could you start with, let's talk about the common misconceptions of dance, and let's just frame it in this question per se. But could you talk about what is the most appropriate response, the most appropriate type of dance from beginning to end that you can probably explain that doesn't go further past that?
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, so from beginning of the dance, like, hey, like, do you want to dance with, like, extend the hand. If I say no, be like, okay, cool. And be like, don't give me like a mean face if I say no or whatever. Yeah. So anyways, continuing the dance, very respectful, not crossing any boundaries, you know? And then at the end of the dance, high five, hug, besitos, and move it on. Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah.
Can you talk about your experience in the past with maybe folks who have not been respectful to you in that regard? Do you have anything that you'd like to speak on?
I don't really have too much. I know some people can get like low, like on my, I've gotten a little bit low, but then I just like move their hand up and then they're fine, but nothing like bad because I've heard bad stories, but I just move their hand up and then they're like, okay.
Yeah. What about you, Alex?
There was one experience that I had that somebody was significantly taller than me and decided to just in shadow position. So like my back was to their chest and they just kept on going up a little too high too many times. Like tried to move, didn't do what they were supposed to do. The situation was handled, but I decided to never dance with that person again. Well, for obvious reasons, but I know a lot of people have experiences, unfortunately, more intense and more severe than that. But it all just, honestly, just be a good human.
Yeah.
Just be a good human. Like, you know that you're not supposed to touch somebody's chest. You know that you're not supposed to grope anybody inappropriately. Like, yes, it can be perceived as a sensual and sexual dance, but it's not that. Like, you got a wife and kids, you know? Then just we're just friends.
Yeah.
We're acquaintances at best. So keep it like that.
Yeah. Just respect.
Period.
It's easy. It's easy.
Yeah, it costs nothing, right, to be a decent human being.
No.
Thank you guys for saying that. I know I usually start and preface that topic, with more of a question, but learning over time, I think the more we just get to it, the more people will listen. So I think I just want to cut that part out and just allow y'all to, converse and talk about the topic, because I think it's important. It's my mission to bring it up in every podcast episode. Yeah. So thanks for sharing. Let's move on real quick. Okay. When you hit the dance floor, how do you connect with the music? With finger movements and all.
Just listening to the beat, honestly. Listening to the beat, and then when I'm dancing with my partner, like feeling them out, matching their energy.
Yeah, honestly, same. It's good to have a nice silent moment. Yeah. Silent, not silent moment, but just like standing there with your partner and just be like, okay, where are you at? Like, let's match. And so that you're not being too like throwing out just random moves and they don't know how to receive it. And then that's how people get hurt. Yeah. So it's good to have that little bit of time in the beginning of the song, just being like, okay, cool. All right, we're good. Like, let's move on from here. Yeah. Instead of just going straight into like a crazy dip or whatever.
That's it.
Oh, go ahead. Oh no, because I just feel like some leads, they're just like, boom, like, let's go, let's start dancing. And then you're like, whoa, wait a second, wait, hang on. So I feel like
wasn't ready.
So I feel like a good tip for leads when they're first starting out is just like match the other person's energy, see where they're at. Like they might be just beginning or they might be advanced, but like you never know who's on what level. So just like try and gauge by listening to the beat, feeling your partners where they're at.
Yeah, beautiful. I think on the last episode that I recorded with Miguel Baez, Miguel on 3, he spoke very similar. He talked about, when you step on the dance floor, he says, you don't just do salsa or you just don't do whatever, like you listen to the music, like you guys said, you listen to the beat, you understand where your partner's at. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's not just a dance for you, it's a dance for you and your partner. It's a moment in time that you're never going to get back. Yeah. And so I like what you guys said. I agree with it completely, is being able to, like, I think of the word sync. Yeah. You sync together when you get on the dance floor and you're able to respect that person's time. They're able to respect yours. And it was essentially just commit, almost agree to have a good time.
Yeah. 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 And I've come to find out that the dances that people are trying to be overly flashy to throw out all the moves. It's like, hey, like I learned this, like, but the technique isn't there. Yeah. Yeah. But those are the dances that I typically don't enjoy when you just dive right into it. And it's like, there's not that moment of, okay, hi, I'm a human, you're a human. Like, let's go have a fun dance. Yeah. And like, if that's not there, then the dance is just like, okay, like that was cool. Or it's like, or you're just like that running, like, trying to keep up.
Yeah. That's when you're like not in it. You're like, okay.
Yeah. Probably one of the best pieces of advice you can give to anybody when they first step out on the dance floor, because it's again, it's chaotic. I understand. Like when you get there, you're excited. You want to like explore all the things you've learned in class, maybe, or what you've seen online. Hopefully, you like take some time to practice what you saw online and actually put some technique behind it. Heads up. But you know,
or fair warning.
Or fair warning,
like,
right?
Hey, I just learned this. Do you mind if I try it on you? For sure.
There you go.
For sure.
We love it.
You can just throw across the room. Thanks for letting me try it. Just kidding. No, that's definitely. I like that actually. Asking permission. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Beyond the dance floor, what pursuits, hobbies, or interests do you find yourself occupying in? Let me rephrase that. This is the last time I write any questions ever.
I understood what you were trying to say.
Yeah. Beyond the dance floor, what hobbies or interests do you have?
Start?
Okay. Well, of course, the gym. I love going to the gym and just having that me time, working on myself and my overall health. And then I like to be outside in nature. And I like to do yoga and read, but I haven't read in a while.
That's okay. But you don't have to call yourself out.
I know, but it's okay. Yeah. But yeah, those are some of the things that I enjoy doing. And hanging with my bestie.
Aww, brunch with the bestie.
Guys, every Saturday. Every Saturday we make our brunch.
We
I'm
do.
jealous,
It's so cute.
Yeah, I want to come through on this brunch.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Come on.
Yeah, let me come through. I want a brunch. All right.
We make a good brunch too. Like,
Yeah.
she's thick. But I like to play the violin. I'm still learning.
That's right.
I've heard that too much. I'm over it. And I'm sure you are too, but
It's all right.
I'm sure your dog is.
yeah, she's just chilling. Like, you know her. She's just vibing. But I like to bake and I like to do a lot of random stuff.
You do.
I like to sit outside and just chill. I mean, that's not random, but like, I don't know, bake. I do pottery.
Oh.
Just whatever. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Let me try that. Just do it. And obviously dance.
Awesome.
Obviously.
Yeah. Hopefully not drugs.
Not that, no.
I saw the black tar heroin on the street yesterday.
Crazy. It's like, hey.
So if you guys are comfortable with sharing your Instagram, Facebook, social media handles, how can people find you online?
Instagram. It's at Laureano. So LAUREANOOL.
And I'm at Alexandra Elise, ALEEXANDRAELISE.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
I had to not put the full name because I didn't want my students finding me. But you know,
you're on this podcast now, so you're kind of screwed.
We are. It's too late.
Any last thoughts or additional insights you'd like to share with everybody who's watching or listening?
Have fun.
Have fun, yeah.
No, for real. Yes. But seriously though, it's like go out, try it, have a good time. And like if you suck at it at first, which you will, but that's okay. Because nobody cares.
Yeah, just try
literally
something new.
nobody cares.
Let go.
You are your own worst critic. So just go. Just do it.
I'm gonna watch this later while I'm editing. I'm gonna write on like 10 sticky notes all those affirmations.
Just do it. Yes.
Well, thank you guys so much for being on the podcast. Podcast. Thank you so much for being on the podcast, y'all. It was a pleasure to have you guys. Can't wait to dance again with y'all. Hopefully soon this Thursday. Are you guys going to the gym?
Probably.
Wait, Bach Bar is also this Thursday.
Oh, yes.
Is that Thursday?
I haven't been.
I think so. I forget if it's every other Thursday or if it's like once a month Thursday. I'll double check.
I'll be at one.
On the group chat. But yeah, I'm excited to see you guys on the dance floor again.
Yes.
And that's it, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in. And as always, if you see us out dancing, save us a dance.